Guess who is back? Takashi Hongo is the plot new and fresh. You will find out. We got a new evil general who looks suspiciously like the leader of Badan.
I don't know. It looks goofy to me.
Yeah. Yeah, where we left Kamen Rider. Ichimonji left to South America in pursuit of Dr. Shinigami, who also left. And Mika's nowhere to be found past that episode. So now we have, Takashi Hongo back center stage. None of that pre-power transfer ninja encounter footage.
No, and even so, and all that what you just said made no sense. Even though I know what you mean, but looking back at it, it makes no fucking sense.
Mm-hmm.
None of it. None of it makes sense because they've done the whole turning of people of power, and then I was like, what happened to the sword? What sword? What happened to the coins? What coins? Why do we have to go through that whole thing of going through the 9 circles of hell to get this? To like, oh yeah, I just wanted it for my collection. I just wanted to put it up on the shelf up there.
Yeah, it's like I'm trying to remember, like in the new shade of pink, in a different shade of pink, did they bring back the sword for the power transfer? Because maybe it's a Mandela effect, but I only remember seeing Kimberly just hand Cat the coin. That's like a jolt of electricity. It's like you could have at least brought back the sword just to like.
That's all you did is that you literally just handed her the coin and that's it. I know some people have gone on the whole,
maybe it's either they're ninjetti.
Well, no, the thing was that it's already in the power chamber, so he probably don't try to make this like an internet router or something. Don't try to make it they already have it, so it's in the power chamber, so like it automatically.
No, if they already have it, that just means that they don't have to go to the Gorma planet just to retrieve it.
Yeah, so that makes 0 sense. It's like
you can still whip it out for like 2 minutes of screen time.
There's a process. Do you just like? I mean, I know now everything we have is Wi-Fi and just go. But if you needed to put a hard put it into a computer or a laptop or whatever, you had to literally connect your phone with your charger or whatever to a port and then go at that. You can't just do it. You can't just. But who knows? I don't know because thank God that Kamen Rider doesn't have that.
Remember how in the power transfer you actually had 2 Red Rangers and 2 Black Rangers and 2 Yellow Rangers at the same time?
That made no sense either.
Yeah. He's like, but we can't have 2 Pink Rangers because too much pink energy is dangerous. And you can make the argument, well, it's sort of like copy and pasting. Like, you know how like when you move a file, you're creating a copy first and then you delete the original?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can make that argument, but what is a Ranger suit? Because you got the costume, but no power, I guess.
It is. It's just spandex. It's just spandex. That's it. Even though some fans will argue to the point because today is the day for nerds to battle each other over prospective fandom. You can't. I mean, you cannot deny what. Well, why did we do that then? What was the purpose of that?
Yeah.
What is the purpose? What is the purpose of going through all that if we're just gonna hand it over, or you're gonna announced via newspaper or on the radio that you're casting new people halfway through a season, and there's no proper send off. It's just bye.
Yep.
We recast it. We don't need a sword. We don't need nothing. We just recast it. Everybody. I'm like,
Just get it done as fast as possible.
Yeah, no, but that I'm not gonna get into it. Johnny already told me how that all went down, and I just kind of
he flew in all the way from Texas just to get to Cali.
Well, no, the fact of them, no, I mean like later on, like that whole story, like halfway through Turbo, it's like, why did we make a movie and all that stuff only to replace the cast halfway through? But he told me why, and I'm like, hey, that's one way to start your Monday morning.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, that sucks. That literally sucks. But yeah, we're not here to talk about Power Rangers. We're here to talk about a certain bug superhero that's not Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm. No, Spider-Man was only there for the first episode and the 13th episode and the movie.
He has come back. He technically has come back.
Yeah, it's like, imagine in Zeo, Jason comes back like he normally would, but instead of as the Gold Ranger, he comes back as the Blue Ranger. Just replace Rocky.
I still say Billy got shafted on that one.
He did.
David Yost got shafted. So he got so disrespected on that. Damn those people who did not allow just because. Like, seriously, he should have. But
to those people, one thing I have to say is it's called acting. No one's gonna know. No one's gonna know. No kid's gonna know about his personal life. All they know is this guy with the glasses. He was a Blue Ranger. Now he's a Gold Ranger. Now he's a lot cooler. Like, he built the Megazord all by himself. It totally makes sense.
Mm.
It's like, imagine having King Arthur and then have like freaking Merlin be one of the 30 Knights of the Round Table, and then like it's like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna become the Super Knight because I not only know how to use a sword, but I'm also a wizard. Like Gandalf. Gandalf was a wizard and had a sword.
He didn't get the sword until he died.
Yeah, but the thing is, he had a sword when he died.
Anyway.
All right, here's a sword. Here's stuff. You shall not pass.
Anyway.
Yes, we're here to discuss Kamen Rider, the original series, episodes 53 to 58. And enjoy these 6-episode batches because we're not doing them as often moving forward.
Are we cutting back, or are we increasing the?
It's like this. You know how we do things. We always try to keep it in the arc. We try to not cut off 2-parters. The third arc has 27 episodes. So our 2 options are either do 6, 5, 5, 5 or do 7, 7, 7, 7. You want to do 7 episodes 4 weeks in a row just to save you a week?
No.
Exactly.
Nope.
But
yeah,
these next 2 6-episode batches are very likely going to be our last 2 6-episode batches for the rest of the season. I need to look up the thing because I already made the thumbnails. It like you saw me. It took me a week to make that entire breakdown. And again, if there were no arcs, if it was just one continuous thing, just like one continuous arc, like Power Rangers, but without Green with Evil, then believe me, we could have done just like 14 installments of 7 episodes and be done with it. Heck, if we were really masochistic, we could have done like 10 episodes of 10 episodes.
No,
but as masochistic as we are for your entertainment, we're not that masochistic for you.
No.
No.
No. No. Unless you start sending us some gifty subs.
You
know?
Yeah. Like get me that lion and T-Rex Zord from Go Juger and we'll talk.
Anyway, so yeah. Anyway, how is everyone today? We're finally back in our regular scheduled areas.
Yeah, TV runs.
No more out of towns for a while, for a minute.
Yeah. At least not until the 24th, but
are we doing Robot Toy Fest?
Yes, we are.
Because that got some big announcements.
Yes. All 3 VR troopers are going to be there. All 3 of them, yes. Including Sarah Joy Brown.
Which, again, clutch the pearl. When does she ever come out for these things? It's very, it's almost the same as Ranger Stop announcing they're having a Mystic Force reunion and Madison is actually showing up.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That actually happened.
Well, no, that actually happened. Again, I throw not salt on these ladies, but you know, they have their own things, their own lives, and their own professional life, you know. But again, there's always got to be that one that just, you know, and it's very rare. It's very rare within Americanized tokusatsu, because normally a lot of people do come back. They do get together because it's like, you know, a family or whatever. But for some reason, these 2 women in particular have always been the ones that have, like, they've done reunions, they've done cast comebacks, but they just either didn't or couldn't.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yes, Ranger Stop, once upon a time, was our sponsor. Still is, more or less. We just don't talk about it as much, and they haven't really done as much marketing to pair, because unfortunately, this will be the last Ranger Stop and Pop in Atlanta, by the way. It's going to be on June 13th to the 15th. Current guests, the current guest list include Austin St. John, Walter Jones, Catherine Sutherland, Johnny Young, Bosch, Steve Cardenas, Paul Schreier, Jason Narvi, Karen Ashley, Nakia Baris, Carla Perez, Kerrigan Mahan, Barbara Goodson, Tracy Lynn Cruz, John Tui, Camel Cooley, Jason Fawn, Aaron Cahill, Michael Coupon, Kevin Kleinberg, Vernon Wells, Deborah Estelle Phillips, Blake Foster, Sean Johnson, Keith Robinson, Sasha Craig, Anna Marie Crouch, Jack Guzman, Jessica Ray, Philip Andrew, Patrick David, Jorge Vargas Jr., Brandon McLaren, Amy Rowell, Serena Vincent, Jeff Perazzo, Kevin Duhini, Rory D. Travis, Jess Budawalia, Najee Tej, Andrew Gray, Friars Darini, Richard Brancantasino, Angela Diaz, Melanie Vallejo. Yes, that's right. As we mentioned, she's going to be there, as well as Nick Sampson, believe it or not. So we have all 6 Mystic Force Rangers. Hopefully, you know, it follows through, as well as Steve Andrino, Michael Gatto, Lezane Davies, Sky Frank, Brian Krause, Tasha Scott, a mystery guest that's coming soon. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a Japanese guest. A VFX artist, Rich Schick, Joe Sutphin, Oliver Banks, and Sketch Ellis. And yes, we have 3 cosplayer announcements, and one of them played Virgil Hawkins for one of their cosplays. So yeah, that's a guest list.
It tastes like never before.
But regardless, that is a long list.
That is a long list, and yes, all 6 Mystic Force Rangers are attending. That's crazy, man. I've wanted, you know, Chip and Madison to come to Morphicon for the longest time.
You know, be as it may, that's what really got a lot of people talking when I was in Vegas because they're like, bro, that just I know.
Yeah, we just have like 1 month to hope that everyone follows through, no one cancels. If they cancel, we're not holding it against them. It's just
it literally was like, did like wow, you actually got all of them to come in. That's actually pretty awesome. So
yeah.
Still no word on our side for Japan World Heroes though.
Yeah, like I'm surprised. Like, do you think it's because of the fires from January that they just and because they had to move the Pasadena Convention Center to May that like we just don't have the budget to like make it, or maybe like other conventions that were also supposed to happen back then were also pushed forward, so now we just too overbooked for August.
Don't know.
I don't know. Like, it could be a combination of those two things. Either way, like, I'm not gonna like press Scott about it because I know he's a busy guy. But yeah, Robo Toy Fest we got John Tui, Aaron Pruner, Brad Hawkins, Mike Hollander, Sarah Joy Brown. I hope she doesn't cancel. Monica May, Michael Charles Hill, Mokoto Sakamoto, who played SPD A Squad Pink. Tim Dunnigan, Greg Aronowitz,
probably
Jason,
down.
Yeah, Brandon J. McLaren, Flint Dill, Jamie Sullivan, Evan Michael Lee, Jason Konopisos. Let's see, some Robotech actors coming back as well. Bill Rogers is going to be there, so that's cool. Let's see. We got some veteran artists coming back. Mark Richardson will be there. We got some G.I. Joe actors, some Robotech actors showing up that we haven't seen before. Oh man, Jack Armstrong's coming back. Janisha Adams Ginyard's coming back. Let's see. I think they're gonna do a reunion for Guyver the movie. From the looks of it, I'm seeing a lot of Guyver actors coming back.
Oh boy.
Yeah. And some Digimon actors coming back. Yeah. The cast of Puffy Amiyumi. Selwyn's coming back too. Yeah, so it's basically some of the usual suspects, but with some new ones added in there. Oh, Chance Perez, Eric Betts, Hank Garrett, Mark Richardson again, Brian Stevenson.
It is a big thing that the VR troopers are actually making.
Yeah, but the VR troopers plus Aaron Pruner are going to be there. I just hope that TJ Storm will also come back because you can't have VR troopers without the Doom Master.
We don't talk about season 2. that just really
it's the shorts, isn't it?
I mean, I said it. I literally said it. And people want to chastise me for it. I'm like, who gave Grimlord little dad shorts? Like, I know he was in a chair most of the first season, but still, I'm like, that's like saying we're giving Darth.
You will attend the volleyball game, and you will make junior varsity.
It's like we're giving Darth Vader Crocs and summer dad shorts. It's like when he comes out of his recovery chamber. It's like, wait, why?
To be fair, he is wearing a codpiece, so.
Well, yeah, but again, it's like I don't know why. Seriously. Well, anyway, are you ready to rehash the first 10 episodes in 6 episodes all in one go again? Because I'm not.
Can you imagine if we cover like all 6 episodes in like 30 minutes?
I mean, just go watch our first review, because pretty much that is literally what happens here. Because every single villain from the first Takashi Hongo Go comes back.
Not really.
No, we have a spider, we have a lizard, we have
Oh, you mean the animals? Yeah. Okay.
yeah. I'm like, I seriously said that the whole time. I was like, wait a minute. Except for the exception of our first kaijin.
Yeah, like the Samilodon looking dude.
You know, except for the exception for our first kaijin, everything else is a rehash of what he has fought beforehand, but just a different species.
Yeah, it's. But I'll say this: good news is Takashi's not being falsely accused of killing a person. Taki's already in the cast. The one downside is that Emmy is in fact in the cast.
I just kind of tune her out a little bit now. Just whatever, Emmy, whatever, it's fine.
She's physically there. I mean, at least she's not like actively sabotaging the rest of the team like she did in like the previous bunch of episodes. Because like that was honestly what made her the most annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But like now she's just there in the background. She's still not actively contributing with like, I don't know, Aikido skills or fencing skills.
But Emmy, we are gonna do to you what Disney did to George Lucas. We're gonna give you a box of crayons, an official Kamen Rider notebook, or a coloring book, put you in a room, and we'll call you when we need you.
One of my favorite words from George Lucas. When I wrote Star Wars, I was fighting against the corporation. But as I made these movies, I realized I've become the corporation. Yeah, you know, when you really think about it,
very ironic that what you were doing back then and what you became, and especially now, you may have sold Star Wars, but that doesn't mean that George Lucas is in the doghouse. No. What watch credits? Even in the beginning, you remember the that big bang sound that they used to do back in the day. All that owned by George. So George Lucas became the Empire. So regardless, he could lose Star Wars. It doesn't matter. He's still fucking rich as all shit.
Yeah, and then he sold out to the First Order. You know, when you really think about it, George Lucas is basically telling his life story through the Star Wars films, where the Star Wars film relates to what he is doing at the moment. Like, even like Star Wars Episode 1, like he's going through a nasty divorce and he lost custody of his daughter or something like that. It's like, yeah, him losing his daughter translates to Anakin losing his mom.
Yep. Anyway, we are here to speak about a bug superhero.
Yeah, we're here to talk about a bug superhero who's fighting a different empire. Yeah, so like the cat dude attacks a security guard at a zoo for like no reason. It's like, excuse me, I'm having a conversation with a tiger.
This was literally the book Animal Farm, because the name of this episode goes The Monster Jaguar Man Deceptive Deadly Auto Bike Battle. There were no bikes in this episode.
There was a little bit of bikes in this episode.
But not so much. I'm like, if you guys are a fan of Tekken, I think this is where they got the idea for King.
You know what's funny is Kamen Rider Kuga episode 5 had too much bike in it, which is ironic because in present day Kamen Rider there's not enough bike.
Oh no! See, they got gimmicks. They got toys to sell. Fuck the bikes.
Also, licensing the roads in order to actually
Yeah,
use the
you ever
bikes
notice
is
that? I've noticed that is that when they sell Kamen Rider stuff now, it's all about the gimmicks. Like what like very seldomly do they have a motorcycle to sell with the freaking Kamen Rider.
yeah. And if they did sell the motorcycle, they would like try to like
It'd be
include an exclusive gimmick to like
there would be like it would only be
persuade you to buy with it. Like for example, like for Kamen Rider Ghost, the only way to get the Houdini icon is if you get the Houdini motorcycle that Spectre used. So
Yep.
naturally, I got that motorcycle, but I never got a Spectre figure to go with it because that's sold separately.
Yeah.
But so now I have this bike sitting around and like no one to ride on it. So like there was a brief moment where like I had a SH figure art of Volt Eagle and I made him ride it. Yeah, I even tried to put that vest on him too. Like Volt Eagle, Houdini.
We have a furry going around attacking poor security guards working at zoos because apparently it is time for his animal brethren to rise up and break from their shackles.
Basically, it's kind of like that scene from Superman. It's like Superman. There's only one two-legged creature that could hear this message. I'm going to destroy Metropolis.
Yeah. All it is just, again, but yeah, after all that happens, we get introduced to our new head commander of this saga. I guess.
Yeah, Ambassador Hell, who looks suspiciously like Ambassador Dark from Badon Army.
Yeah, where he came from, no one knows.
Yeah, and I know what you're probably thinking. Wait, why are you saying it like you've already discussed Kamen Rider Z-Cross? We haven't, but we have discussed Kamen Rider Gaim, where Badon does make a comeback.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, for some reason, the plot of this episode, besides establishing that Hongo is back, is apparently we are trying to get the animals to revolt against the people.
For some reason.
That's the whole idea for Jaguar Man is it is time for all animals to attack all humans, which not to say that you don't have a very interesting idea, because who the heck would suspect the family cat or dog to attack you?
Or the squirrel in your backyard.
Or the dang Kobo crack squirrels in the backyard. But let me ask this question. I know, well, Japan is Japan, and obviously, I can only imagine all the people visiting Nara Deer Park, and next thing you know, the deer start attacking.
I mean, that was literally almost a plot in a season of American Horror Story.
I mean, can you imagine, all the animals, everything like that? That would be very interesting, but well, apparently you got to coerce them, Jaguar Man, to do it. Like, it's not so simple that they're gonna do it. It's more like you gotta talk to them. So,
yeah,
how does that work?
Mm-hmm.
How does that work?
See, I can't even honestly. I can't imagine like Familiaris' rebelling against humans. It's like I'm not going to rebel against humans. They give us belly rubs.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like, well, it's like what, guys. Well, to the dogs and the cats and everything, I'm like, I highly doubt you would be able to get them on your side. Highly doubt it. Even wild animals wouldn't do it because obviously they have no loyalty nor combative towards us. Also, it's like, unless you bother them, they ain't gonna bother you. So this plan is dead on its own. I mean, and not to mention, Ambassador Hell is so Oh, I like so impressed and so went with Jaguar Man that he's just like, this is
I'm
the
such a
greatest
genius.
I've ever made. I'm like, is it? I think that helmet's cutting off the circulation to your head. In all honesty, let's see what Takashi Hongo's doing.
He's just riding his motorcycle.
Yeah.
You know, like we did in episode 1. Except
Like-
now he's a cyborg.
Like you do, because he's trying to get into the world race and trying to break the world record with Tachibana Sensei. Only for him to get side cucked by Jaguar Man and a bunch of shocker grunts.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing that I don't understand. Well, no. They captured everybody. Tachibana, Goro, Amy,
Mm-hmm.
all of them. They're all caught. Except, yeah, and they're being coerced by like tigers and lions to get eaten. I'm like, I don't think they're gonna eat you guys. They might kill you, but eat you, that's not in their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Although Hongo drops, what was it, a lighter or something?
Yeah.
He dropped
Tachibana Race Club lighter.
Yeah,
Which,
and-
by the way, was a real life promotional item. That
I
thing
want that
exists.
Water Club lighter.
I would love a Tachibana lighter too.
But yeah, apparently it's enough to get them out. But here's the thing, though, and again, I think I mentioned this, and I know some people were like, "You didn't mention it last week," of course, because there's no reason for me to mention it last week. But I am going to do it now. We have a very. This is, I think, the beginning of a popular trend in tokusatsu in this era of crucifixion in live action children's Japanese television.
Oh no, that's been around even in earlier episodes of Kamen Rider. Remember how like Goto was tied up to an electrified crucifix?
No, but I mean, this is our first. Like,
No,
with our,
like Goto was tied up to Goto and Mari were both tied up to electrified ones.
oh yeah, that's right. But yeah, we start. Takashi Hongo is crucified, and we're thinking, oh my god, what's gonna happen? Well, first off, they're trying to. I don't know. I don't know whether you're trying to get him warm or trying to burn him, because I would imagine that it would make more sense if you put the bundle of kindling underneath him instead of to the side of him. I mean, guys, we're not making shawarma here. We're trying to kill the guy. We're not trying to toast him. Yeah. Only for that to be double crossed because Taki and everyone else got out and then save him. And then finally, this right here is the first time that Takashi Hongo actually does the henshin pose.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first time he's not riding a motorcycle. There's no need to ride a motorcycle anymore. He just has to do the pose.
Yeah.
Yep. Also, he's wearing a very awesome fucking tracksuit.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I noticed about the last episode we're doing this week is Takashi and Taki are wearing matching color schemes for their outfits. I'm like, oh, Taki, you deserve so much better than just being a random civilian character.
I mean, if they were to give a secondary rider, Taki totally fucking deserves it. But
Yeah.
I mean,
So he fights off the monsters. Even like Taki's like, oh snap! Like Takashi's not back from the racetrack. Meanwhile, Goto and the girls, and who's that third girl there? Because like, is that Yuriko's friend from like earlier in the series? Because she shows up in a couple of episodes, but like, who are you?
yeah, that caught me off guard. I was like, who is? Oh, that's right. That's right. They brought you back?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But yeah, a simple rider kick to the Jaguar Man. And again, the Jaguar Man did actually give Hongo a ride for his money.
Mhm.
This
Yeah.
fight lasted for almost 8 minutes. It
Yeah.
was 8 minute from the angles of all sides, from the gorge, all over the place. The Jaguar Man was pulling out every cheat code from Tekken Tag Tournament. He
Yeah,
was
or that one dude from Street Fighters, that Jaguar dude.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, Tekken. Tekken has King. That's his name.
No, but Street Fighters also had a Jaguar dude.
Street Fighter?
Street Fighter, yeah. Yeah. Street Fighter Jaguar.
I know that Street Fighter had a Kamen Rider.
Yeah.
Right.
Adon from Street Fighter. He had like moves based on Jaguars. Like Rising Jaguar.
You're talking about the Muay Thai fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a Jaguar. I'm like, when you're talking about Jaguars, I think of King from Tekken. I'm like,
yeah, because he has a Jaguar head. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm like, but other than that, I'm like, Adon. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. Yeah. See, like when I hear fighting game and think about like Jaguars, the first thing that comes to my mind is Adon. And mind you, it's not even that like, oh, I played Street Fighters or anything. Well, I mean, I played Street Fighters too. But like, oh yeah, like Rising Jaguar, Jaguar Kick, Airborne Jaguar Kick, Jaguar Tooth, Jaguar Crunch.
He's pretty much like trying to outdo Sagat. And as we all know,
Tiger uppercut.
And here's the thing, though, folks. Even though a tiger might be bigger than a jaguar has more kills under its count than a tiger does.
Yeah, Street Fighter South was when he first showed up.
Jaguars are a lot more dangerous. A lot more dangerous. Mm-hmm. But regardless, he pulled out all the moves that would be illegal in a Tekken Tag Tournament. It would just be the Kamen Rider was literally getting his ass kicked until finally one good kick and got thrown off the cliff. And which again, I mean, I can maybe understand the fact that everyone knew that Ichimonji was the Kamen Rider, maybe not Hongo. Because it's like, again, they're doing that whole thing afterwards where Hongo just shows up and they're like, "Where did you go, Hongo?" I'm like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean,
apparently that one girl's name is Toko. Toko. Okay. Episodes 53 through 69. A woman who joins Tachibana's race club after witnessing Shocker's attack at the zoo.
Okay, so she's gonna be a little here with us temporarily.
And apparently she was introduced to replace Mika. Why did you even introduce Mika in the first place? If you're just gonna like affirmatively replace her, like at that point, it's like
we have to fill our quota because apparently we lost the astrology crowd when we lost Mika.
Yeah. And then there's Yoko, who shows up in episode 70, but we could get to her later.
Yeah,
so
but
we're
that was the episode. Besides religious context and cheat codes that would make even the most saltiest of gamer boys like jealous. That is the return of Takashi Hongo, the first time he ever did a henshin pose. And actually, this is like my notes here say this was the first time that this was the official look for the Kamen Rider from now on. This is where it first premiered. Mm-hmm. That his look, his style, everything. This was when they finally solidified how the Kamen Rider would look from going on to the future.
Yep.
Okay. We got it.
Yeah. So enjoy Toko while she lasts because she'll stick around till episode 69, and then she and Emmy are both gonna be replaced with two other girls.
The only one that sticks with us all the way to the end is Yuri.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yuri? Even Goro doesn't stick around the whole way through.
Goro leaves. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's like, and you know what makes me more sad? Goro leaves before Emmy does.
No. All right. Next episode. The
Okay,
this
so let's
one.
preface a little
This
bit before we
one.
move on to the next episode.
This one.
So we've talked quite a bit about a certain manga. So the Kamen Rider manga, which only had 6 chapters, was actually released in April of 1972. As we said before, the manga came out after this TV show came out and had a much different story path than the TV show did.
Mm-hmm.
The episode where Takashi dies and is replaced with Ichimonji was actually released in April 17th, no, April 15th, 1972. So this is like well after Ichigo came back. Like that manga issue didn't even air. Sorry, it wasn't even released when this episode came out.
Mm-hmm.
Then in April 28th or 29th is when they released the 5th issue, which is Ichimonji's first chapter as the main character. Episode 54 is the basis for that 5th chapter. So yeah, Ichimonji is in a chapter based on an episode where Takashi's already come back.
Mm-hmm. And again, this one is a rather dark one because the premise of it is, well, the title of the episode is The Ghost Village Sea Snake Man.
And in the manga, this ghost village is Ichimonji's hometown.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this episode really, even though I think it's kind of stupid in terms of like how they get to the town and everything like that. I mean, what's going on is absolutely horrible. It's absolutely diabolical. But just like how they find out about it, it's like, really? Really?
A truck that's driving by itself at full speed. Oh man, Waymo really screwed the pooch on this one.
Well, also the fact that this sea snake man is such a dumbass. He's like, again, so there's a part in the episode where the sea snake man is fighting Takashi, and he winds up, like bragging to Hongo that he is gonna kick his ass with all the special training he has been getting at the Shocker training camp.
I was like, why? I know it's like,
Excuse me? Shocker has a training camp?
I mean, there was an episode during the Colonel Zol arc where like they're training kids.
Well, I mean, I get that, but I mean, like, there's an actual like what is this? The evil YMCA? Or like what exactly? I mean, also, why would you say that? I would imagine any type of bases or facilities that an evil organization would have, you would keep it quiet. I mean, at least God did that when it had their training facilities. I mean, it just happened to be that Kamen Rider X just happened to come across it. At least we know, like, no, yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense that they have, like, training and gym and stuff like that for their combatants. But for some literal noob to yell it out for everyone to hear, I'm like, okay, why don't you just go tell the feds? Why don't you? Mm-hmm. I mean, you're not going to say where it is, but we already know it exists. So what the hell? The fact of the matter is, I'm just like, okay, I'm like, it would have been more so if like he had followed a grunt or maybe the Snake Man himself and found out. And then again, what happened to this town is absolutely just horrible. It is just diabolical. when we tell you.
Mhm.
But yeah, so the episode starts off is that a policeman who has escaped Shocker's clutches in the village of, I'm gonna butcher this, so forgive me. Okayama village flags down a truck and the road and tries to get to a telephone. However, the sea snake man with his prism eyes try to wrap around the scenery and the truck to prevent it from escaping any further. This makes 2 truck drivers go into the tunnel, and then they crash into a wall beforehand. This was the episode where they were like going into that same tunnel that they did for X, wasn't that?
Mhm.
It was the same tunnel, the same exact tunnel. And
Yeah.
so apparently the Snake Man is able to use hypnosis, I believe the term would be, or some type of psychic attack that literally makes the scenery repeat itself.
What the hell is that?
Yep.
How a sea snake is able to do, well, they used to say that snakes used to give you like the stare, that glare, that would just, the paralyzing of fear.
We are a secret club because of our agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But apparently that's not true. Snakes, the reason why they stare you down. It's pretty much a tactic, but it's not hypnosis.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Taki gets kidnapped again.
Yeah. Let's see here.
And the thing is, he's not even there on purpose. He's not trying to investigate Shocker. He was just scoping out for a racetrack for Tachibana. And he was there by complete coincidence.
Yeah,
Shocker, who the hell is your realtor?
It must be a damn good one because look at all the properties they got. I want to know what their equity is and all this shit.
Yeah, do they have like hygiene insurance? Do they have like rider insurance?
Mm-hmm.
You could bundle your motorcycle and giant robot.
Let's see here. What else do I have written down? So yeah, Taki winds up getting like jumped by the Shocker because apparently it's like, oh, if he's here, that means Ichimonji must be nearby. That's a 50-50 at most, guys. That's
Wait,
a 50.
Ichimonji? I thought you went to South America.
I'm sorry, Hongo. Like that's 50-50 if Hongo is here, but of course he has to be here because there he shows up. But it's too late because Taki gets kidnapped and he gets taken away. God damn it. And of course the whole bullshit of like, the sea snake has a retractable snake on his shoulder. That just kind of
It's just there, like a boa, like Alice Cooper.
Yeah, but again,
where's a boa made out of a living boa?
But yeah, let's see what else I have written in. So Taki gets taken away. Hongo gets his ass kicked, only to realize, like, you know what? I wonder what the secret base this snake was talking about. Yeah, I wonder too.
Yeah, and like the snake thinks that's like, now a rider kicked him. He is now presumably dead.
Yeah, no, unless you see a body or unless you see an
or a giant explosion.
Yeah, don't assume that he's dead. Okay, we have thrown mothers off of buildings and they've stayed alive. We've drowned them and they've stayed alive. We have thrown them into space and blown them up, and yet they are still alive. How? I don't know, but they still are. Let's see here. Where was I? So apparently, so Hongo comes across this very, very like you all know that new Silent Hill game that's coming out pretty soon, Silent Hill R.
Yeah, I was gonna mention Silent Hill.
Yeah, it's well, no, it wouldn't have been proper because Silent Hill doesn't take place in Japan. But now that we have this entry, now we can say it. Yeah, so it's a very Silent Hill looking kind of atmosphere. There's smog, there's fog, there's no one around. The place is abandoned, and
all the people there have curse marks on them.
Yeah, because why? because they've been used as punching bags and as
For a training ground.
how that's like, to me, that's shooting fish in a barrel. How is that training? How is that you're already a modified cyborg Snake Man. How is that training of beating up elderly civilians and just people who are dying of your poison?
See, here's what I appreciate about Gekki Rangers, that in the third episode, it's like, in order for a Rinchi to be promoted to a Rinchi, they have to be in like this tiny confined room where with 100 Rinchi fighting each other to the death, where only the survivor gets promoted.
Yeah, it's pretty much for you anime fans. Remember when Naruto, they did the tuning exams, but we found out that not every village does what they do? The village in the mist was a whole like, yeah.
You have to kill all of your classmates.
Yeah, it's a battle royale. Pretty much.
I remember there was this one Japanese film about a girl who becomes like an assassin, and like there were like 10 orphan kids, and they got trained to become assassins. It's like, for your last test, you must choose. You must pair up with your best friend. Of course, she pairs up with like the boy she had a crush on. It's like, now for your last test, you must kill your partner, and if you refuse, I will kill the both of you.
Yeah. Should have gone with the guy that was creeping on you, darling.
Yeah.
Either or. Oh, yeah, that's pretty much what is going on here. Again, this Sea Snake guy is flexing how much he's like getting trained, when in actuality, you're just pretty much fighting just the decrepit at this point. It sucks because not only that, poor Taki is in there too.
Mm-hmm.
He's got messed up pretty bad. We're gonna find him, and it's like, no, we got to get out of here. We got to go. I'm like, how are we gonna get out? Because every time we do, the snake uses the hypnosis powers, and we keep coming back to this cave. It's like, no, we can get out because apparently it's not hypnosis. He's using some type of, again, bear with me here. Bear with me. He is using sound to confuse the people in believing what they are seeing is repeating itself, only for them to go back to where they started.
Yeah, basically, it's, see, like, even in Naruto, that was explained better, where it's like, these 3 sound ninjas attack your semicircular canals, thus disrupting your vestibular fluids, making it impossible for you to determine your 3-dimensional orientation. And it ruptures your eardrums, which like fucks you up even more.
Yeah, that's using proper sound. How does sound make you see things?
Yeah, like unless you have severe synesthesia and you have the very specific synesthesial symptoms, that's still very unlikely, though.
But again, it's not the snake who's doing this. Apparently, they've had like
it's some kind of laser.
Yeah, some type of laser sound wave type thingy that they've had. Then the snake just apparently is like is the decoy to make it like, yeah, no, we have to protect this very expensive tool, so you pretend or tell them that you're doing it.
What the hell is that?
Yeah. Can you imagine? Shocker's like, no. See, this thing we have to protect. We have to keep this safe. You pretend to tell them that you know to do this. So that way they're not going out and like, finding our weapons and maybe trying to get out of here. Now, again, I'm not saying that people, well, maybe they could. I mean, we've seen groups of people take on many and outpower them. But still, I'm like, yeah. And it's only the one device. It's just one.
Mm-hmm.
And the Kamen Rider finds it. Just happened to be like taped to a side of a mountain or a side of a hill somewhere. He blows it up. He destroys it. And again, the Snake brags about how much training he's done. I'm like, what is this? An episode of fucking Dragon Ball Z or something? We got to go through 20 minutes of like him like monologuing about how he trained in a time chamber under like 10,000 times gravity and like blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah. The writer just kicks him in the face and that's it. All your training. I mean, you thought Vegeta, when he was trying to become a Super Saiyan, monologue too long. This Snake just took the cake with talking about how much training he does, how powerful he is, how much he could bro, shut up, because it made no sense. If you were really that strong, there would be another episode. But there's not. Like this is the guy who brags about how big his biceps are, but you look at his legs and he's got skinny stick legs. Clearly, you don't do leg day.
Yep.
Nope.
Mind you, when I had a tennis coach, he was paraplegic. He had an excuse to have skinny legs. But you know what? His arms were so strong that by pushing his wheelchair one time, he would be able to go all the way up a steep hill from the very bottom to the very top. I would say it was a 30-degree angle.
I will say, you know what? But it was kind of cool that that they saved the villagers and they were actually happy. Although it kind of makes me question this. What happened to all the children?
That's a good question.
But
we all know what the Riders were thinking, though.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you,
we don't care.
Jerry.
Did the creative team of Capcom, are they Kamen Rider fans? Because did they get ideas for Resident Evil 4 from this episode?
Not surprised.
I'm not surprised that they did.
But you ever notice how almost every movie that Mila Jovovich is in, it involves her parkouring across a corridor and ends with her doing that superhero landing with a close-up of her looking towards the camera?
Yeah, she's got that down. Of course she does, because she was trained by Liu Kang.
Yeah, it's like one time I was over at my mom's place and she was watching a movie in Ukrainian, and it just so happens that in that movie, Mila Jovovich is playing a character in a wedding dress. I'm guessing her character's getting married. And I'm like, so then I asked my mom, is she going to parkour across a corridor in that wedding dress and do a superhero landing while she stares at a camera in slow motion? Because I wouldn't be surprised if that happens, because she does that in every movie. Don't believe me? Just watch the Three Musketeers. No, really, that movie was bad, but watch the corridor scene from Three Musketeers.
Yeah. But yeah, this episode, it was great that they saved the village and whatnot, but I'm just like, this Snake really needed to shut up. He really did. He really was just annoying as hell, because I thought to myself, oh, two-parter. No, he's just a single character. All right, fine. Yeah, saves the day, a kick to the face, and that's all it took.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Next episode. Okay, now we're going to get nasty.
Yeah, because the next episode involves a cockroach.
Oh, hell no! 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 Oh.
Yeah. The cockroach and the terrifying germ ad balloon. For some, well, you know what? It has not. This whole gimmick has not changed. There's always will be people who will lie about their products, and some people just try to make a quick buck. Although it kind of makes me question when someone gets augmented into one of these kaijin, some of them keep their memories, others don't.
Yeah.
Kind of makes me question. So how does that is that something you guys have figured out, or is that just like a side effect? Like some do, some
Yeah, because like even when you look at the first 3 episodes of Kamen Rider, Takashi needed to have his memories wiped. And that's kind of the point. Like he escapes before they succeed. Meanwhile, like his best friend turns into Scorpion Man's like, oh no, I did it voluntarily. I hate you. Like I'm always in your shadow. I'm like, bro, they kept your memories? Yo, what's
yeah, the other ones didn't. And here's a clap because again, this episode deals with 2 brothers.
Mhm.
And it's kind of like, oh, is he or is he not? It's like, well, as always. So yeah, let's see here. It says so apparently Shocker develops a bacteria that ages cells. So it's pretty much a fast forwarding aging like germ that they're using for this. And apparently they're using it by the most common way imaginable.
Mhm.
Bowling.
Yeah.
Bowling. Not in the air, not getting a crop duster or anything. No. Bowling. Because that's the most easiest way to spread a virus.
How? I mean, I know a lot of people go bowling, but what's really crazy is that like it's like you see the Shocker mooks looking at the bowling balls, and it cuts to the balls rolling down the aisles. And I'm like, are the Shocker mooks actually like playing a game while they're doing their infiltration mission?
I have no idea, but it looked like they were having fun doing it because it's just out of all the things, like you could have put it in the air conditioning, you could have put it as an airborne virus. No, bowling.
Here's how like I feel like the Tim Burton watched Kamen Rider, because like the whole putting the bacteria inside balloons later in the episode, it's like that's how Joker did the whole Joker gas thing in the Batman movie.
Yeah. But the thing is that before we get to that, apparently this is like people don't get what's going on. So just as always, like with what happened a couple years ago, we have a con artist team of 2 brothers selling
Vaporize,
which is hand sanitizer. But it's not hand sanitizer. Because it doesn't do jack.
You ever seen the movie Envy with Ben Stiller and Jack Black?
Yeah.
Like I still can't get over like those 2 license plates that they decided to go with Kaka King and Pootsar.
It's almost the same as like what happened in Seinfeld when Kramer got his plate. Call him the ass man. It's like he's a proctologist. That's his thing. He's a butt doctor.
You know what's really funny is how like there was a stint that George tried to do where he tried to sell pudding skin singles. And somehow a knife used to make those pudding skin singles like ended up flipping in the air, and I guess it landed on Jerry somehow. I was a kid when I watched this episode, but long story short, Kramer gave Jerry a blood transfusion. He would constantly guilt him into doing stuff that is legally dubious. Well, you should want to say no to this, blood brother.
Nope.
And yes, George had a Zeo Ranger 5 red figure in one episode.
Why? I don't know.
He was trying to recreate some kind of conference meeting to make sure that he was in the right about something. It's been a while, but basically the Zero Ranger 5 figure represented, well, George. I'm like, I wish you were Tommy.
Yeah. Anyway, so apparently these two brothers are selling just snake oil because it doesn't do jack squat. But apparently, Ambassador Hell believes that what they're doing is actually putting a wrench in their plans. And I'm like, no, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not doing anything. It's just, I mean, more so, it's probably giving you guys a fall guy. Because it's like, oh yeah, no, the pandemic's getting worse, but these guys are spreading it because of their bullshit products. I'm like, yeah, but no, they don't think to do that. They just think we're gonna stop them. We have why? Why, Ambassador Hell? Why must we stop them? Why must we waste resources? But they do, and because of that, again, you would think, hey, for you to be like a kaijin for Shocker, you got to be something important or something special, right? Like an athlete or some assassin or a police officer or something. No, anybody can do. Anybody can do. Because
not very consistent. Because remember how like in the very first arc, it's like they wanted the best of the best of the best of the best to become their cyborgs.
Yeah. It's like MIB just decided to open up its doors to any idiot on the street.
Let's get a bunch of people from like 4chan to become our intergalactic border patrol.
You didn't decide to go to Reddit? Really? Okay.
Nah, at least have some standards. Go to Reddit. Yeah. Or at least MySpace.
But yeah, apparently the older brother gets turned into a kaijin. And his fat, dopey brother, who was just along for the ride, like, kind of weasels his way out of it. But he kind of says to it, like, no. I'll do whatever you want. I promise. I'm like, all right. Apparently, they let him live. They let him tag along, I guess.
Yeah.
Again, what are your standards for employees, Shocker? Because, I mean, this guy's a coward. He literally is a coward.
Yeah, you'd think that the Shocker generals will become, I don't know, increasingly more serious. Because look at where we went. We went from legitimate Nazi colonel to a Russian Nazi scientist. Again, I don't know how a Nazi can be Russian, but still, And he's like really menacing with a scythe and disorientation ray that he used on Taki. And then it's like, oh, you're thinking that the next guy from Southeast Asia might be even more serious because he's dressed up like what looks like a centipede. No.
You think, but no. How he's going about it is not, wow. But the thing is that again, just like Jack Nicholson, they try to make, instead of, what, bowling's good, but how about we try to make this a more airborne? So they decide to fill up a bunch of balloons. They go the Ivan Ooze route and go straight for the kids.
Yeah. Throw them at your parents. Throw them at your friends. And if they say no, just throw it at them.
Yeah, apparently apparently Goro is friends with the kids who live in this apartment building, which I'm like, Goro?
How do you know everybody?
You know everybody, Goro. You're like 10. But apparently Goro has got plot because he recognized one of the guys. He recognized the fat one for him to get.
Hey, you're the guy who's selling the vaporize. No, I wasn't. Everyone get him.
Yeah, again, you could have just kept, no, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I really don't know. He sold himself out, the fat slob. Like, yeah, I'm not guilty. Yes, I am. It just only for, and then he drives away in the car with the Shocker grunts and his brother, who is a cockroach. And he's just like, but again, Hongo shows up and chases them down, tries to stop them. He tries to make a systems arrest, but ain't no gonna go because this cockroach ain't taking no shit.
Yeah. And then the cockroach just sprays his own brother.
He killed him. Kills him right there because I'm like, well, okay, so
That's
I would
cool.
have thought because he was recently new, he maybe kept memories because he actually, I mean, he argued with his brother, but he didn't like want him dead. But this cockroach just flat out just sprays him and kills him.
This high key reminds me of Clone Wars, where because like Darth Maul has two brothers, and like you got Savage Press and a much skinnier brother, and it's like the skinnier brother, he's not a fighter, but the two of them are put into a bunch of death games by the Night Sisters in order to become like some assailant working for Asajj. It's a long story, but it's like at the finals, you got the two brothers in the finals, and the final game is you have to fight each other to the death.
And it always the way.
Yeah, and of course the older brother ends up killing the younger brother. Of course, it takes mind control to get it done, but still.
You would imagine that maybe the brother would try to help the Kamen Rider in this situation, but I mean, he's already he's already decomposing, so
yeah.
We just have to go with the tried and true way of, Hongo kicking his ass and beating him with a simple kick.
Yeah, but I will give credit to one of the Shocker mooks. He tries to Andrew Bernard Kamen Rider into submission.
Yeah, only for him to get sprayed.
Yeah, no, it's like remember when Andy and Dwight were having their duel over Angela, like Chris run him over with the Prius.
Yeah.
It's like the Shocker move tried to do that to Tachi. I'm like, that could theoretically work if you keep the gas running.
Yeah, but apparently not.
No, but unfortunately, Tachibana gets sprayed by a balloon.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's fine though. He's fine. Because apparently Tachibana's got plot armor. Everyone else who was affected, I guess lived. Some of them didn't.
Most of them did. They found the antidote, but then the cockroach dude tries to invade the hospital, and Taki gets sprayed. Don't worry, Taki also has plot armor because Takashi has another dose.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. And then he sprays the doctor too. So now Taki and the doctor could mass produce the antidote.
And again, would not the cockroach... again, do you not realize giving them the venom could cause the anti-venom to be made? No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And of course, it's like, we're going to get a giant balloon. Like a really giant balloon, like Go Rangers sized, in order to spray the whole city.
Mm-hmm. But it didn't work. Or you were going to, but you just decided I have to fight the Kamen Rider before we get on this balloon.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah, so what's really here's the weird part. Like he basically Taki catches the balloon, but then he uses his reverse kick. Not really sure how that's any different from his regular kick. He knocks the roach off the building. He flips over onto his back and then gets replaced by a very noticeable dummy that combusts.
Yeah.
Like freaking, I even sent you the screenshot.
Yeah, no, I saw it. I'm like, well, that. Yeah. Well, we didn't have CGI back then, folks, so you had to just fill up the costume with some rags and just hope to God that it didn't get destroyed on the way down.
Ironically, if you just kept him in his roach costume, you could have just blown up the costume itself with no one inside of it. And no one would have noticed. But we noticed.
Oh yeah, we know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Meanwhile, yeah, so everyone gets the antidote. Taki, Tachibana, and Takashi have a bit of a laugh. It's like, yay, now the bowling league is back on. And Takashi rides off. Hey, this feels nostalgic. Remember when Takashi would ride off on the middle of the street? Da, 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 dun, 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 dun. Yeah. All right, next episode.
Next episode, the poison butterfly Garira of the Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Again,
Nothing much to say.
Pattern here. We had a moth earlier. Now we have a butterfly.
Or going off of what you said at the beginning of the review, we had a bee earlier.
That's true, because this is a lady. This is a lady.
Who happens to be an entomologist, I guess.
Like I said, folks, you can just watch our first review and you probably get the sum of this episode. But yeah,
a father and son go to a lab, and then when they try to leave, a lady dressed up as Heath Ledger's Joker shows up.
Can we, you know, yeah, this episode.
I mean, I'll say one good thing about this episode. It's got Takashi and Taki broing out.
That is very true.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you want to investigate? You want to do an investigation? I'm down. And like he throws a helmet like behind him, and Taki catches it. It's like, damn, Takashi's got aim.
Didn't take them.
But I mean, the whole premise of this episode really, nothing really happens. It's just your basic, like, oh yeah, the scientist and his son are held hostage. Why? Why were they targeted?
Yeah, that was really made clear. But you got Takashi and Taki like doing some inductive and deductive reasoning together, like bros, finishing each other's sentences like bros. Hey, I found some green glass, like bros.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're having a bro moment with Takashi and Taki and Hongo, obviously, but.
I know what's really funny is like realizing it's like, oh yeah, Takashi wasn't physically there when Taki showed up, like back in episode 10. No, not 10, episode 13, because it's like, yeah, Taki showed up after Fujioka left.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like any interactions they had for those 3 episodes was literally stock footage, like We're Jason would talk like this. And you never see his mouth move or anything.
I'm just like, can I just honestly tell you, I was like bored out of my mind watching this episode.
Yeah, for me, like the only highlight of this episode is literally the two of them broing out. They even go to like a chemistry lab because remember, Takashi's an organic chemist. It's like, hey, we're investigating this this powder that we found, and like they're just like exchanging like inductions and deductions together. It's like, whoa, what's with all this broing going on in here? Like, it's like you spend like 39 episodes like seeing none of this, and all of a sudden it's like they're probably and that's when you realize, oh yeah, Ichimonji was barely in the show when he was the main writer.
Yeah, but now
it's like you don't think about it so much, but it's like, yeah, how often does Ichimonji actually interact with the other characters, like just to interact with them?
Not a lot, but I want to say that was Takashi's own personal choice, as we said. He kind of
Yeah, he
hindered.
wanted to like subside his role from there,
Yeah,
but it's like it's still kind of sad that it's like like and again like when your plan works a little too well, so it's like, oh, like no one remembers Ichimonji except like I think people remember like the 2005 version of Ichimonji more than they remember the 1971 version of Ichimonji, and that's sad. Like, and look, and again, no hate against the 2005 version. It's just, it's like, it just sucks that like this character was around for 39 episodes as the main character, and yet it's like you're not given that much reason to miss him. And mind you, this was his choice, but it still hurts knowing that because I want to be able to miss him.
I know.
Yeah. But Takashi, he's just blending in so well. Like he's having like this like senpai kohai moment with Goro. He's broing out with Taki, and like he's dadding out with Tachibana. It's like Fujioka, very charismatic actor. Like there's no question about him. You love the guy, but it's like you're so used to like this not being status quo in the season.
There's different paces in this show, obviously.
Yeah, that it's like you got so used to like the main character being so dull that when the main character is actually like charismatic, it's taking you by surprise. It's like, it's like if the two main characters were freaking Iki Igarashi and Ace Yukio. It's like there's very much difference between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, not even Iki. It's more like Hiromi from Revice.
But regardless, again, we're talking about this, or we're not really, because not much happened in this episode, folks.
Yeah, Taki goes to an entomology lab to discuss a new species of butterfly with this mysterious woman, who reveals herself to be the butterfly villain. And she has poisonous darts.
Ooh, yeah, not much goes on, really. Yeah. It's just a generic, like, oh, yeah, bad guy storyline. Da-da-da. So
yeah, it's like, oh, plan A didn't work. Let's go to plan B. So then Takashi and Taki go investigate. And again, like they have matching outfits.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're broing out so much that they're wearing matching outfits. It's like when Leo and I went to see Bad Boys for Life. It's like, yeah, we're both wearing leather jackets. We're matching because we're bros. We're like Takashi and Taki.
But again, defeat Shocker, Rider Kick. That's it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, they end up in the Shocker base, but like they quickly escape. What more is there to know? It's like, yeah, there is a poison that they're trying to like infect the dam with, but it's like, haven't you already tried something like this before?
Yeah, that's why these episodes are repeating itself. They're totally repeating themselves.
Again, I stand by what I said earlier. Just get the two fungal monsters back, bring them back together at the same time, and just infect a bunch of people. Do it discreetly this time.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. So yeah, they like. Takashi rescues Tachibana, that father and son from the beginning of the episode, and rides off. It's like, hey, at least we're keeping the him riding off thing. At least he's not like...
We're giving that the thing.
Yeah, but at least he's not like moping around. It's like Takashi drives all by himself. being the only person who could bear the burden of having his humanity removed by Shocker. Good luck, Takashi. Until next time. See ya, Space Kamen Rider. But this time it's like, no, it's not as melancholy because, like Richie Rich, he's made friends.
Yeah, because he's got friends to come back to. But
yeah, and we're not talking about Fujikawa, wherever she is.
Yeah. Now, brace yourselves, ladies and gentlemen, because he is back. And I mean him as in not really him, but it is him, sort of. It's kind of like there might be spiders, but this one's a tarantula.
Yeah, it's like in King Oger, you have it's like you got like a spider, a god spider, and then you have god tarantula.
Mm-hmm. Because the next episode is the Tsuchigono Man, Doko Mayondo. Which, if you don't know what Tsuchigono is, it's pretty much it's the tarantula.
Yeah.
Not a Spider-Man, it's a tarantula man.
Yeah. It's a man spider. Yeah.
It's a bigger spider. Big difference.
Yeah. Tarantula's still a spider though.
It's still a spider, but it's a lot bigger. This is where, again, just like Disney had its Xerox era, so did many other shows, because this is just embarrassing that I'm like, okay, we had a moth lady, which is a reference book to a butterfly lady, which is a reference book to the moth and to the bee. Now we're going back
to spiders,
to the first Kaijin, which is a variant, because we, just like Pokemon, we have variants.
You know, the irony is Spider-Man looked more like a tarantula than this guy does.
Yeah, what the fuck? What? I looked at this guy and I'm like, this makes more sense of him being a spider than a tarantula.
Yeah, and unless you brought up that this dude, it was a spider, I wouldn't even be able to tell, because he looks more like a mayfly than an actual arachnid.
They got the compound eyes right at this point.
Yeah. But hey, at least it's not a web weaving spider. It's a burrowing spider.
Yeah, and a lot of skulls and a lot of, I guess, would be cannibalism or consumption of human flesh, because some people go into these holes and they just come back out as skeletons very quickly.
Also, like, what's really funny is that you see the undersuit of the tarantula man, and you can't help but think, is that Steve from Blue's Clues?
I wouldn't put it. I mean, he said he went off to college. I don't think
because he's got those green stripes.
Yeah. But yeah. So the synopsis for this is Shocker attempts to steal a formula for a liquid explosive that can melt and burn metal that was developed by Hongo's colleague Sawada.
Yep. Because remember, Takashi is an organic chemist.
He is a professor.
You gotta, if there's something you have to appreciate about episodes 56 and 57, they actually don't waste the whole background of him being a chemist. Like, he is actively performing chemistry experiments.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they just already have it done, and apparently this is top secret. No one knows about it, but apparently people do know about it. That Shocker knows of it.
Yeah, it's like Kamen Rider Agito. You had a back alley doctor who was another Agito. It's like, imagine if that back alley doctor, you never see him actually performing any form of medicine.
Well, there's a bunch of scientists here that I never see perform any type of science experiments, and yet they're called doctors.
Well, they have PhDs.
What are your qualifications, and what is your background in the laws of science? Like, what are you a specialist of? I don't know. They just get targeted.
Series of science.
They just get targeted for some reason. But regardless, let's see my notes here. What do we say here? So yeah, it's apparently Hongo and Sawada create this. No one knows about it. After Hongo leaves, Sawada takes a break, only for him to get pursued and assaulted by the Spider Man and the Shocker Grunts.
Yep, and he's hospitalized, and Takashi has to take things to his own hands.
Which, again, both these guys made this solution, so wouldn't it be best to kidnap Sawada and get the information about how to make this compound instead of injuring him and then trying to get Hongo in this? Why?
See, the great leader made the exact same comment that you just made.
I would have been furious. I'm like, I told you guys to put it on stun, okay? We don't need Hongo.
He said stun. He wasn't gonna hurt you. He said stun.
I'm just like, okay, so the guy who can only tell you now is the guy you've been trying to kill this whole time, and it was also a pain in your ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can we cue the face palming scene?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, because I gotta tell you, they could have captured him and they could have done something. They could have, put that thing that they tried to get the photo of the great leader on his head to try to get the compounds, but apparently not. No, we gotta put him in a coma. So now we gotta either wait for him or try to capture the Kamen Rider, and I don't like either one of those options.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Anyway.
Yeah, so, we have to sneak into the hospital the solid snake way.
Yeah.
Because, of course, we gotta. And Tachibana just happens to be visiting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but thankfully, that was a decoy.
Why was it a decoy?
Because Takashi knew he'll be coming back. It's crazy. You know how, many times Takashi just happens to, show up from someone else's window? And it's like, I heard everything. I know what's going on. Or even in Kamen Rider X, the movie, where, it's like, I think the government of darkness is doing something under my bed. And then it's like silly child, that's impossible. And then the child walks out and outside waiting for him with the smoke. It's like, oh, hey, it's Ichigo. Yep, that's me. Pretend you didn't see me smoking just now. So you mentioned something about the government of darkness.
Yeah, the Kamen Riders had good hearing before the Orphanox did. Let's just put that to best already. Let's see. What else did I write down here? Well, there's a lot of death, a lot of instant death with the spider, because apparently he's one of those trap spiders.
Yep.
You go in, you come out a Skellyman.
Yeah, and he even made a thing where it looked like he telekinetically made a bunch of rocks gather above him while he was underground. And I'm like, yeah, how's this dude any different from the Mole Man? Or better yet, how's the Mole Man any different from this guy? Why can't the Mole Man just kill people instantly like this guy can?
Yeah.
But yeah, Shockers kidnapped the dude's comatose body, and they're about to experiment on him.
But they didn't.
Yeah, so you have the entire Kamen Rider gang. You got Yuri, Goro, Tachibana, Taki, Takashi, Toko, and Eri, like and Sawada's son, all like making like trying to figure out where is Spider San Diego? Spider San Diego, where on earth can he be? And Goro's like, well, what if he's like right over there? And then it's like, Goro, you're a genius. It's like, well, yeah, I found the spider. Goro, you're amazing. We could use the spider to find where the traps are.
Yeah, like it's not very obvious.
Yeah, so it's like 2 for 2. Goro is the one who figures everything out. And Takashi is like it's like this. Hayato is like the first person to like not discount what Goro has to say. He's like, no. I think he's onto something. If like there's a monster attacking, who's to say it's not a shocker attack? Well, Takashi's like, Goro, you're a genius. It's like Takashi and Goro are like Totoro Kujo and Koichi Hiro. So it's like Koichi, you're a genius. Like you figured out who Kira was all by yourself. You are so cool. You are so cool. And you have 3 stands. I only have 1. And sure, I could stop time, but your stand can create any sound effects it wants. I'm pretty sure sooner or later you'll figure out what sound effect is required to stop time because you are so cool, Koichi.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah.
Let's see.
Takashi is glazing Goro so much that but it makes me sad that Goro will be gone in about 10 episodes.
Mm-hmm. But regardless, let's see here. So the spider flees the hospital. They trace him back to the shocker base. A battle ensues. One rider and both the spider and the shocker base get blown up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's pretty straightforward.
It's pretty straightforward after that. They tried to kidnap Sawada. They tried to get the information. Why they didn't just take him and just keep him alive or keep him sane, I don't know why. Look at what it cost you. It lost you a kaijin, and more importantly, it lost you property and equity. Because not only but the whole damn base went up with him.
Yep, like he fell into his own trap hole, and then it was just like fire, like it's freaking like all reliable, but with fire instead of steam. And yes, the base does get blown up. And you're thinking, oh well, like, are we gonna get like an obligatory scene where Sawada's reunited with his son? No, it just cut to Takashi riding off on his motorcycle.
No, Sawada's fine. He's fine. Surgery goes well, and he's recovering from his injuries. He's fine. We don't need to wrap up his story in any way, shape, or form. He's fine.
We're just gonna assume.
Because and that's it. That's pretty much it. And now the next episode.
All right, last episode of the night. We got the Komodo Dragon one.
The next episode is the Monster Bearded Lizard Deathmatch in Fear Valley, which, if you guys take a good look at this episode, this is the same place where we spent most of Kamen Rider X at.
Yeah. And the episode starts off with 3 people bringing a dog back to life. Needless to say, the little kid version of Hirohiko Araki is probably like if you've ever seen Yoshikage Kira look at the Mona Lisa, you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, they have a Dalmatian in a tube.
A dead Dalmatian in a tube.
I mean, it's not really dead. But for the sake of
plot wise, it's dead, and then they bring it back to life.
Because apparently they created a chemical called the X alpha formula, which let's just say it what it is, folks. It's chemical X.
Oh man, I miss that Cartoon Network song. Chemical X. All thanks to Chemical X. Yeah, and I would be surprised if it's the same chemical that Kisuke Jin's father put inside his bloodstream when he hooked him up with that Go-Go Gadget toothpaste.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, well, obviously we know why Shocker wants it. It's basically a Phoenix Down. It's a Riz.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So they can bring back any combatant they want back to life. And I'm like, isn't that what you guys already do?
Yeah, I mean, you brought Colonel Zoll back technically in the movie.
How many, you brought back every single Kaijin you've destroyed. You've brought back every single Shocker grunt. It's like, don't you guys already have that? But I guess we need this one too.
Yeah.
This also has to deal with something we haven't dealt with in quite a while. The focus of a young child. Because apparently one of the scientists, I think almost all the scientists die in the first episode, in this first few minutes of this episode.
Yeah, so one of the assistants was tasked with transporting the formula, and then the bearded dragon tried to play possum in order to get him off guard. But then when he sprays the scientist with some kind of red liquid, it's he's dying, but he manages to stay alive long enough to destroy the briefcase. So then the bearded dragon and freaking Ambassador Hell are like, Hail Shaka, and then it's like you idiots! You don't you know that without the formula we don't have without the assistant being alive, we can't interrogate him for the formula. Well, what if we just kidnap the main scientist? You idiots!
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
If you kidnap the original scientist, then it would set you know who is gonna figure out that something is suspicious. Mm-hmm. So you have the female assistant because it's less conspicuous. I'm like, that's gonna be conspicuous no matter what.
Yeah, very much so. Very much.
Yeah, but hey, at least I'm with Great Leader on this one. You two are being really dumb right now, and I have to ask again, how is it that you conquered the Middle East, you conquered Europe, you conquered Mexico, and you conquered Southeast Asia, and somehow once you show up in Japan, you're suddenly acting like morons. Blockhead. Everyone in the command of Shocker is a freaking blockhead.
As Ron White always said, there's no cure for stupid. The fact of the matter is, folks, is that for some reason they to make this plan go without a hitch, they gotta just throw a wrench in it just so they could prove that, even though things might be total crap for us right now, we still pulled it off. Stop flexing.
Yeah.
Although the thing is about this is that, you know what? Why did we have to get the children of one of the scientists involved?
Yeah, that part doesn't make sense. Even if you're trying,
it's not like the scientists sent or taught the children the information of this revival formula or anything. It just happened,
and it's not like they sent the formula to the child hidden inside of a doll for their birthday. Whoops.
You guys just assaulted a little boy and his sister, kidnapped the sister, and apparently the little boy is friends with Goro, obviously.
Because Goro's friends with everyone.
Goro
Goro's like that.
Goro is literally, and again, don't at me at this, but this is the only thing that fits when I think Goro is Najimi from Kamen.
I was gonna say that.
Goro
is that androgynous classmate who was childhood friends with everyone.
Yeah, Goro is Najimi, 100%, man. It is confirmed. Although we actually know that even though Goro can pull off being a little girl, we know that.
Yes.
And yet Najimi, we still, and I've read it. I still don't know, and I don't want to know. Bless their hearts, I'm Najimi's friend. And again, Goro is like trying to be a good friend to this kid. Although we get to a part that I'm like, man, this is totally a product of its time. I mean, can you imagine being a little kid and something happens to your folks and the only family you have left is your big sister? Mm-hmm. And then she gets kidnapped by some Jurassic Park reject. And obviously everyone's like, you know, the girls are being sympathetic, obviously. It's like, you know, oh, this poor child, like that. But Goro and Tachibana are kind of like, come on, kid. You gotta buck up. You gotta put your chin up. The boy lost his family, for crying out loud. Mm-hmm. He has nobody now. And you're telling him, even Goro was like, Goro, come on. Was telling him, like, come on, boys don't cry. That's not a manly thing to do. And I'm just like, Goro, he is a boy, as are you. Mm-hmm. I mean, I know, like, your sister is still with you technically in this, but imagine if something happened to Yuri.
Yeah.
What would you do? How would you feel? Even the fact that there's a scene where Bo, Taki, and Hongo come in after their bromance, and like Hongo hears like Tachibana just like, you know, oh yeah, don't worry, but the Kamen Rider's not gonna save your sister if you don't stop crying. Come on. That's like, bro. And you just see Hongo's like face on this, like he feels so horrible for this kid.
Yep.
He feels so bad. He's like, I got to do that. Like, good on Hongo for that part. Good on him. Because it's like, you know, I know. I mean, we kind of grew up in that era too. You got to tough it out. You got to be strong. You got to be a man, especially if you're a little boy. But come on, man. The situation is just dire for this kid right now.
Yeah.
We don't know what Shocker's doing to his sister, but it ain't good. Mm-hmm. So to tell him just to like, you know, bury it down and you know, just, you know, toughen up. She'll be all right. It's like, can you solidify that? Can you verify she's gonna be all right?
Yeah.
Kind of messed up here, guys. But as always, Hongo is like, no, he can cry. He can be vulnerable because again, it's his sister, but we will get his sister back.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully soon, Hongo, because she's placed under a buzzsaw. I don't know why, but she's put under a buzzsaw for some fucking reason.
Mm-hmm.
Either or. Ugh. What else happened in this?
Really not much. The sister's about to get a buzzsaw over her. Like, brah, what is this? What is this saw?
It's a 007 montage. But apparently the scientist who made the Alpha X is still alive.
Yeah.
He's not dead. I thought everyone died. No,
Nope.
he didn't die. He didn't die.
No.
But
What's funny is that when Taki and when Taki and Takashi rescue the female assistant, she's just like standing there like while everyone else is fighting all these grunts. It's like, lady, run away. Get some distance. Don't just stand there.
Why don't you run away?
Yeah.
But again, the reason is because I guess the professor gives Taki the files, the actual vanilla envelope which has the formula compound to trade for the assistant.
See, like, I wish I had that formula because, we gotta, like, bring doggos back to life.
You know what?
Like
that
Dan, like we need that formula for Danny. We need it for Poochie. We need it for Iggy. We need it for that one neighbor from Mario who doesn't pick up after his dog.
We need it. We need it for the dog from Seymour from Futurama.
Yeah.
We need it also for the dog that was in Space Dandy.
Yeah. We also need one for the what's it called? Hachi. Every version of Hachi.
Yeah. But again,
every version of Hachi.
My whole thought on that, especially, is like, if they lived their full lives, why would you? Like, why would you? I mean, I've had pets that have lived longer than expected, and I'm like, as much as I would love to have them back for a day, I'm like, they live fully. They're happy now. We'll be reunited again. But let's see what else happened in this episode besides Taki saving the girl and the Kamen Rider doing all the work.
Yep.
That's
pretty much it.
Yeah, because again, the battle consumes. It's a good like 3-minute battle. But I asked this question. So, Mr. Bearded Dragon, what happened to your acid blood stuff that like is very corrosive?
Yeah.
That you ran out? There's no more? I mean, you could do it again to Hongo. I mean, it was kind of effective the first time. No, you're not going to do it?
Or here's another idea. Why not just have all of these? Why not just have like all of these monsters that we had in the last couple of episodes just show up at the same time?
They did that once and it didn't work.
Yeah.
I do love how he takes out the monster in this episode. It's not a rider kick. It's more like a fucking It's more like he gave him the pedigree. He gave, or he gave him the pile driver. He gave him the stone cold stunner. He pile drived them. Someone get the chair, because I think that was an illegal tactic that he did. That was more around like Mick Foley as Cactus Jack level of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Because he just lands him on his head and then he falls and then he blows up.
It is what it is.
Bastard. The poor bastard.
Mm-hmm.
Either or. But finally, little boy and his sister get reunited.
Yep. And that's the end of the episode.
Yeah. Never mind the random bystander who is bicycling behind the crew as Takashi Hongo drives away.
Yep. Yep.
Did they not have closed sets back then?
No, they did not.
Yep. But that is it. The Bearded Dragon lost. The X-Fluid is safe. And the Kamen Rider rides off on the mountainside.
Yeah.
In that same burgundy coat.
Yep. And again, that coat's very shiny. And also, what's it called? He's matching with Taki.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that fun?
Yeah, and I guess that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Because I did actually go and watch the next episode. I was like, wait, are we stopping here? Or are we stopping at 59? But
Nope,
no,
58.
you'll have to wait till next week for the monstrous worm man and the bottomless swamp.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, like, yeah, like as we move forward, we're definitely not gonna have any more sets of 7 episodes anymore. We'll still have a few 6s here and there, just not 7s anymore. So you could rest, breathe a little bit easier.
You can finally adjust these episodes with some type of ease nowadays. So
Yeah.
thanks for that.
Yeah, and again, it's like it's 98 episodes and 3 movies.
What movies are we missing? We already did one.
Yeah, Kamen Rider versus Shocker. Then after episode 79, it's the second movie, Kamen Rider versus Ambassador Hell. Actually, I have the thumbnail right here. I'm gonna post it up right now. Like, give you guys a little like sneak peek into like a future podcast episode. There we go. Yeah, Kamen Rider versus Ambassador Hell. Yeah, and you got Shocker on horseback. And then the final movie, which is literally called Kamen Rider Ichigo.
That's the one that's like years later, right?
Yeah. Yep. 45th anniversary.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. But as far as this arc is concerned, 6 episodes down, 21 more to go. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking.
I know.
Yeah.
But we gotta pay respect to it.
Yeah. We're doing Ultraman right now. Eventually, we're gonna have to do Ultraman Cosmos. So, like right now, we're doing Kamen Rider. Yeah.
So
Eventually, we'll have to do Sky Rider, the second longest season so far.
how long is Sky Rider?
54 episodes.
Oh, that's not bad.
And yeah, compared to 98, that's not bad at all.
No, that's not as bad.
Yeah, but you never had to watch in just 3 days.
That's true.
Yeah, but yeah, so these batch of episodes, I have to say, honestly, 7 across the board. But the one positive I'd have to say about this is, damn, like Takashi's really eating up the camera and it's loving him.
It's just to solidify that he is back, and you know, as you said, it's to show that this is Takashi's show. I know that we did have Ichimonji for a minute, but again, this is Hongo's show fully 100%. And so we I mean, if the camera loves him, by all means.
Yeah, and like he's like growing it up with Taki and dadding it up with Tachibana, and he's glazing the heck out of his Kohai Goro. To this day, Emmy has no on-screen chemistry with anyone.
No, she's just there for the sake of being there. So
Yuri's trying her best to keep everyone together. God bless you, Yuri. You haven't been out on the field very much recently.
That is true, but I'd say let's take it in strides.
Yeah. And Toko, I don't even know you. I barely even noticed you. barely noticed you the first time around, barely even noticed you this time around. And when you and Emmy will be replaced with 2 other girls again, I won't even. I still don't barely remember them because y'all are making each other so interchangeable. Like freaking Mari stood out. She really stood out. She had presence. Like when she disappears from the cast, you know she's gone. You feel her gone.
I know. We've been missing Mari for like so long.
Yeah. Yeah, Yuri's trying her best, but like it doesn't help that she's been benched for way too long, and we've seen her out on the field. We know she can play. But she hasn't played in a while. It's like that one dude from Angels in the Outfield. The main baseball player, the one who's supposed to die of cancer in 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's that baseball player. It's like she can do it. But she's been warming up the bench for too long.
It's pretty much like a league of their own. She's not Gina Davis, she's Kit.
Yeah.
That. But
how about you? Like, what's your score?
I'm gonna give it a 6 just with how the repetitiveness, even though I know it's not, it was still repetitive in terms of like the kaijin, and really nothing added up to what they were trying to do. I'm not really digging Ambassador's Hell of the way he goes about things in terms of his plans, his domination, like how you manage to do that. It's just to say, you know what? He took over the Central Asia with just a couple of bullets and a barrel of gas. That's all he did. That's all you needed.
Yeah, it's like Colonel Zol, like he had some really dumb plans, but he had presence.
Yeah.
Shinigami had some interesting plans and had presence.
But here he's got presence but no plans. So
I'd say he has neither.
I mean, besides just the way he looks, I mean, he's got some presence, but not that's about it. Just presence. Like he's there. That's it.
Yeah, he's just there.
Yeah.
But he doesn't stand out without his costume. Like Colonel Zol, his personality stood out, while his appearance didn't.
Yeah. But yeah,
this guy's the opposite.
It's not a very strong go for the Ambassador Hell. I gotta say that.
Yeah, and again, like they built up the other 2 leaders, like they built them up like before showing up, and then they showed up, and bare minimum their first episodes, like freaking one dude blew up a mountain, the other disguised himself as Taki and turned Taki into a menace. Even the cactus dude blew up a dam.
Yeah.
And apparently crippled the Mexican economy.
Yeah. No, I know.
Yeah.
But nothing here. It's just a bunch of random happenings that are going on, I guess.
Even the monsters aren't as interesting because it's like
they're literal rehashes of kaijin that we've already seen before. Like
it's like
you took the moth and the butterfly and just put them together. You took the Spider-Man and just did this to the costume. I'm pretty sure the bearded lizard was one of the reptile kaijins that we have already seen before. Just give it a frill.
Yeah. So long live Jiris.
So either or, I'm like, well, okay.
Alrighty.
So now it's time for what the people got to say.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everyone, for commenting to us live. Let's get right to it. The purpose to make new toys. I'm guessing you're talking about Power Rangers.
For Power Rangers. Well, for Power Rangers, I'm like, yeah, it's all about look at what they did to Titanus.
Mm-hmm. They remolded the feet of the Ninja Megazord so it's compatible with Titanus.
Well, they also did that in space version of Titanus,
Yes,
which never
I forgot about that.
which never showed up in ever.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, he's still here, guys. You know, why?
Also, you would think toward the shuttle Zord would have been a better fit.
You would think they could have made it into a UFO or something.
Yeah. Plus, it's a space turtle.
Yeah,
It's been to space. They found it on the Gorma planet when freaking Serpentera showed up.
yeah. So what the f, man? But apparently,
Yeah. Even Ninja Storm was smart enough to make like a red Ninjor.
yeah. But that is the whole thing with Power Rangers. Even not so much this era of Kamen Rider, but later on, they'd be notorious for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Of course, the squirrel would be the first to fight the humans.
Yeah, as we already know, those crackhead squirrels are just they are just diabolical creatures.
Yeah. Who would win, 100 squirrels or cyborg human? See,
Where
I
did
can.
that come from? I have been seeing that all day. I'm like, where did this come from?
See, I'm gonna nip this version in the butt. It's the squirrels. Like, we watched JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. We've interviewed Dan Warren. We know how this plays out. One vampire squirrel can kill one cyborg Nazi.
I mean, like, where did this whole thing come up of 100 guys versus a gorilla? Where did that come from? I'm so freaking
I
lost.
think it was Mr. Beast or something. I don't know.
Because I'm just like, okay, I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, just men, just with what God gave them? Because the gorilla's gonna be just owning everybody.
Yeah, I mean, the gorilla will probably get tired faster, but in the short amount of time he'll have, like, he's going to tear a few
Are we
humans in
talking
half.
about numbers? It's like, okay, how many men can we throw at a gorilla before it actually, I'm like, bro, I'm pretty sure like at least a quarter of them, not one is gonna make it out unscathed. You're probably gonna get at least 80 of them, like 50 of them are dead, 30 are probably like at the point of death, and the other 20 are like barely scraped by. There ain't no way. But then again, I'm like, well, whatever. 100 squirrels or a cyborg. I'm like, I think the squirrels got this one because the squirrels can get into areas that a man could not. So
Yeah, they can chew through metal again. Like right after we talked about that squirrel shocker dude, a bunch of squirrels ate through my fiber optic cable.
yeah. So it's not to say that squirrels don't have the power to do some damage. They do.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like Shocker was smart by turning one of their combatants into a squirrel because squirrels are freaking evil.
Squirrels are crackheads.
Yeah, they're insane. Yeah, just like in that one DreamWorks movie.
Which one? Are you talking about Over the Hedge or are you talking about Hoodwinked?
The one, now that I think about it, both.
Because I believe the crackhead squirrel was more in Hoodwinked than it was Over the Hedge.
I think it was both.
Because I could see you fucking tell me that Patrick Warburton as the wolf and he has a crackhead squirrel friend. I'm like, I would never want to be in a dark alley with that crackhead squirrel. Never.
Man, it's crazy. Patrick Warburton playing Lemony Snicket in the Netflix series. It's like hearing Joe Swanson's voice trying to define things like, it's like, well, you see, the belly of the beast here means that you're in the worst possible place you could possibly be. Like when you're a hyper athletic super cop and you take down a man dressed up as a green Dr. Seuss character who steals a bunch of presents. And then just when you thought you defeated him, you fall down a rooftop and break both of your legs.
Yep.
That would be the belly of the beast.
Yep. So. Next question.
All right. It's fun to stay at the Shiotsuka. No, please no. Like, I get it. Secret training camp, but no.
Again, it's like that episode was good all around. It's just the fact that stupid idiot had to just make it all about like, oh, like, dude, it's like that guy that brags about having a gym membership but he never goes. You know?
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's got everything for a shocker mook to enjoy. The admins will make you melt.
You know, you're right, but for the other people, I don't think it's a good time to be out there.
Yeah. Alrighty. We have a new commenter with some interesting pastiche of Mega Man characters. Gaming in the past and beyond. Hello, you guys. Hello.
Hey.
Gaming in the past and beyond. I'm gonna call you Gidpap for now, just to make it shorter. How you doing, Gidpap? Just subscribe, by the way. Thank you so much for the sub. We appreciate it.
I got a subscription. What?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you
So much. Yeah, we're at 2.89K, which means we only have like 110 more subscribers left to get 3K on YouTube. And we have, I don't know how much on Facebook, but when we get to like 10K on Facebook and or 3K on YouTube, we will provide you with some like bonus content right there. So thank you so much for subscribing. Yeah, like last time we reviewed MMPR The Last Ranger Parody 7.
I'm so glad I was not there for that. I was so glad that I was not there for that.
Yeah, Leo's definitely jealous of you for that. Yeah, well, thank you all, one and all, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or on my personal Twitch. Thank you all so much for watching our discussion of episodes 53 through 58 of the original Kamen Rider. We're going to do the next batch of 6 or so episodes next week. And yeah, comment, like, and subscribe to us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Ding the bell icon to stay notified for our latest videos. And be sure to share the videos because it helps us out with the algorithm. Mondays, we got Ultraman, the original. We have 2 videos left for that. We got 7 episodes in total left to cover. And that'll give us a 10-week period to cover just one more season of Ultraman before we go into the newest season, Ultraman Omega, which I swear looks too much like Z-Earth.
To me, it looks more like Red Man, if anyone gets that reference.
Yeah. And we appreciate that you love Tokusatsu, by the way. And Wednesday, we got Kamen Rider Gavu. Thursday, we got number 1 Sentai Go Juger. And finally on Sundays, hey, it's the 2 of us covering the original Kamen Rider. So please be sure to check that out. We also recently uploaded our Power Morphicon interview with Jeff Dolan, who is famous for playing Korak Darshi, that one janitor from Beast Morphers, as well as that motocross official in the final episode of Ninja Storm. If you're wondering why we haven't uploaded that interview in a while, that's because there's a simple explanation for that. Check out our sister channel, The Buttery Show, where we are where we have shorts discussing Gundam GQX. And if you want to follow our personal content, where can the people find you?
Just on IG. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for all your little messages, quotes, and support. Thank you so much.
Awesome. You can find me on Instagram at Boken_Kawato and on Twitch at twitch.tv/BokenKawato, where I'm streaming some of our Morphin Network content as well. If you want to say hi to us in person, we will, me and Leo for sure. If any other members of the squad are going to be there, that'll be under their discretion. we will be at the Pasadena Convention Center on May 24th for the Pasadena Comic Con, and we will be at the Burbank Marriott Convention Center on June 8th for Robo Toy Fest, featuring all 3 VR Trooper actors. Yes, that includes Ryan, JV, and Caitlin. All 3 of them. All 3 of them.
That's too much, man.
And yes, I got my DVD so they could sign it because I'm the type to get my DVDs autographed rather than 8x10, but that's just me. So all that and more right on our channel and our sister channel and all of our other content. Until next time, please be sure to stay safe, stay hydrated, update emergency kits, hug your loved ones, and may the 4th be with you. Bye, guys. Oh, yeah, and right before we go, Feliz Cinco de Mayo.